Hi, this is Dallas, and I like to say simple words like, me have happy funny stories for you to hear with happy funniers. If that's something like that. I hope you enjoy. Story number 1. This situation happened back in 2015. I was 17 at the time. I believe that a little backstory is essential. I'm a 19-year-old female, born with several medical conditions. One of these is Marfan syndrome, which, amongst many other things, affect my heart. In December 2014, I was so ill that I couldn't leave the hospital. By the end of January, my surgeon said that an urgent surgery is needed to replace my aortic and mitral valves and enlarge my already replaced in 2009 aortic root. Around 2 weeks after my cardiac surgery in February, I was finally capable of walking steadily. It took a little longer than expected because I managed to catch a couple of infections and the pain was twice as bad. I wanted to surprise my mom. The poor woman had washed me every other day and take a shower by myself. I asked the nurse, let's call her Maeve, if I could, and even though she was rather reluctant, she agreed. However, she asked me to keep the door unlocked. This was a public corridor bathroom on the ward, so I asked her to keep an eye out so nobody came in, so I agreed to do it on her terms. Before I continue, you should know that even though it was 2 weeks after my surgery, they still gave me incredibly strong painkillers that made me all wobbly. One of them was Oxynorm, and I sometimes got a shot of morphine, as my scar kept opening up and my ribs wouldn't heal properly. I got into the bathroom, undressed myself, and started to pick at my chest scar, taking off scabs. I started bleeding, so I got a little freaked out, decided to get in the shower and quickly take a shower and show Maeve so she could help me. Except, I actually couldn't find out how to turn on the shower. There was literally just the shower head, and my high self didn't think I should turn it. No, instead, I decided to search around the room. I stepped into the shower and noticed 3 buttons: red, with a picture of a nurse, green, with wobbly lines, and blue. I thought, bingo! Blue is like water, water is blue, right? I pressed it. Wrong. The loudest alarm I have ever heard in my entire life went off. I got so scared I tried to run and almost slipped on my clothes. Almost. But I caught myself with the towel hanger. Within a couple of seconds, about 15 people ran into the bathroom. I was standing there completely naked, and everyone kept asking me if I was okay. Because there were so many of them, I started to have an anxiety attack and bawl my eyes out. They felt so sorry for me that they got me a piece of chocolate cake from the staff room. I couldn't stop laughing and crying for hours. I know this isn't that funny, but I giggle when I think of it, even though it was super awkward. And if I purposefully turned on the alarm, I would have gotten in trouble. But hey, I got a piece of cake. Number 2. I know there are a lot of posts about people eating too much fiber and farting all day. But I still want to share my experience because who doesn't like reveling in another person's misery from uncontrollable flatulence? So I'm going to start off by giving a little background. The past 2 months I've had some really bad pain in my back and stomach. I went to the doctor and she didn't have a definitive answer for me, but she treated me for a bladder infection. Fast forward to earlier last week and the pain came back slightly, paired with some constipation, so I took some laxatives. It helped clean out my system, but the pain came back in full force Friday afternoon. After trying to ignore it and just deal with it, Saturday night was absolutely awful. I didn't sleep at all. I woke up Sunday morning crying from the pain and lack of sleep, so I went to the Instacare below my doctor's office. The doctor was a really great dude who was racking his brain trying to figure out what was wrong with me. He looked through my medical history and I explained everything that happened in the weeks leading up to me going in. 2 hours, urine test, and x-rays later, he's still at a loss. My urine comes back with a high count of red blood cells, and also showing that I'm extremely dehydrated because I suck at drinking water, so he thought I may have kidney stones. X-rays come back showing me clean of everything. He tells me I need to follow up with my doctor because it could be other things, like ovarian issues, but is putting me on antibiotics for my kidney issues and told me I need to drink more water. He gave me a list of stool softeners and forms of fiber explaining that constipation may cause kidney problems and said I need to keep up on this stuff. So I go shopping, get some Benefiber, stool softeners, some off-brand Fiber One bars, and have been drinking loads of water. Here's where my frak up comes in. Last night I am a little hungry. I wanted a snack. So I pull out my fiber bars. I figure I need them anyways, so I eat 2 of them. They're about 9 grams of fiber each. And then I go to sleep shortly after. I woke myself up this morning by ripping the biggest, loudest, airiest fart I've ever done. This was a bit startling, but I was kind of impressed with myself. By the time I get up and get going on my day, I just keep ripping them one after another. I figured the fiber bars had something to do with it, but didn't think much of it. I thought it was kind of funny. But it wasn't so funny when I got to work. I had to excuse myself about 10 times throughout the day to go to the bathroom and let them rip. I would have gone every 30 seconds if I could, because that's how often they were coming on. I felt like the second I'd release, I could feel my abdomen fill back up with air. The best comparison I can make to this is that I felt like a human whoopee cushion. The second I'd release, it was like some a-hole would immediately blow it back up. Plus my farts sounded exactly like one. I forgot to mention that I work at a home office with 2 other people, and every time I went to the bathroom I could only imagine the whole house shaking with my farts. So I had to use the toilet paper method to silence them as much as I could. And as if the whole thing wasn't embarrassing enough, when I tried holding them in, they'd randomly sneak out. No one said anything, but I know they heard or smelled them. By the time I got off work, my stomach hurt so bad from holding them in. When I got into my car, I just let them rip for about 2 minutes. I had to stop because I thought I was about to crap myself. So I got home as fast as I could and spent about the next 30 minutes in the bathroom getting out as much as I could. It's been about 24 hours now since I ate the fiber bars, and while they are fewer and farther between, the farts just keep coming. I just really want to stop farting, guys. It's not even funny anymore. Story number 3. This frak up happened about 2 hours ago. I work at a decent hotel near a popular city as a night auditor. Tonight we were fully booked and had 2 auditors working. When we have 2 auditors, we usually take turns doing the audit. So tonight I was able to just kick back and relax. It's about 2 hours into my shift and I decided to heat up my extra pizza in the toaster oven. Then go back to our office and kick back and wait for the pizza to be done. I usually do this because the back office is between the break room and the front desk. So I can listen to my toaster ding and I can tell if my coworker needs help by checking in a guest or taking a second call. Little to my knowledge, my extra cheese pizza slice were about to frak me over by spilling a glob of melted oily cheese onto the toaster heating pipes. This of course instantly starts creating a smoke screen that any ninja would be proud of to vanish from. Not even 2 minutes after checking on it, I come back to the break room to a cloud of smoke heading straight for the fire alarm. I make my desperate attempt to disperse it enough not to trigger the system, only to be met with loud screams from the fire alarm. Within minutes, the phones start blowing up with people asking if they should evacuate, and angry guests setting up to get a good amount of hush benefits from the hotel. I try my hardest to keep my cool as people are yelling at me, the alarms are yelling at me, and my coworkers are yelling at me. Within 20 seconds, we now have half the hotel waiting in the lobby, groggy-eyed and mad, staring at me as I try to answer as many calls and reassure people that they are safe. The fire department finally comes and silences the alarms and sends people back to their rooms. I photographed the toaster oven before cleaning that biatch up to make sure that the next time it's turned on, we don't get a repeat. Then I called my lead auditor and asked if I should fill out a formal incident report or just write it down for later. I'm staying longer to make sure to help out as much as possible because I'm a recent hire and could easily be fired for costing the hotel so much money in fire department fees and give-outs to angry guests so early in my employment. My coworkers tried telling me it was only an accident and I shouldn't get much backlash, but I know the hotel's income, and we haven't come out of a dry season. They have already cut hours, so this could be an easy out to cut some fat off the payroll. So I want to make sure that I'm there and as responsible as I can, so when it comes down to it, the decision for cutting me is going to be a hard one to make. I'll update you later when I speak with a GM or an AGM in the morning. Update. I got to work and my supervisor nicknamed me Crispy. I got word that the GM wasn't happy at all about it and we had to sacrifice the toaster oven. Now we only have a microwave for all of our soggy and rubbery needs. Besides that, I should be in the clear. I am just missing a stern talking to. Well, I hope you enjoyed those videos. Thank you for everyone who allowed me to read their stories, and if you want to share a story, just read the description down below. And please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And also, leave a comment down below if you'd like. And subscribe if you want to see more of my wonderful videos because of my wonderful acting. And I will see you next time. Goodbye!